Welcome to the April 7th, 2025 meeting of the Parks and Recreation Commission. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Nick Alexander.
Here.
Olive Bailey. Jason Blessinger.
Here.
Renee Borowiak.
Here.
Kevin Hernandez.
Here.
Sandra Pollock-Cushing.
Here.
Regine Suchek.
Here.
And Jeff Short is absent tonight.
Thank you. Will Commissioner Bailey please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Please stand. Salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner Bailey. At this time, we have public comments. I will ask the clerk to read the procedures for addressing the Parks and Recreation Commission publicly at this time.
Citizens addressing the commission during public comment are asked to approach the podium and are limited to 3 minutes unless extended by the chair. It must be regarding items not listed on the agenda and are within the city jurisdiction. The Brown Act does not permit any action or discussion on items not listed on the agenda. No action will be taken on items addressed under public comment.
Thank you. At this time, I will now open public comments. If anybody in the public would like to address the Parks and Recreation Commission, now is the time to do it. Seeing no public comments and hearing no public comments, I will close public comment, and at this time, we want to approve the minutes. Is there a motion for?
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you. All right, next on the agenda is item 6.1, and that is FD 50, the Neighborhood Park Master Plan. Staff.
All right, good evening. I'm Tara G., your Park Planning and Development Manager. It's a pleasure to be here tonight to discuss FD 51 Neighborhood Park Master Plan. This park is a 1.7 acre site located in Sierra Vista. The roads surrounding the park are Mercury Lane, Starfield Drive, Nova Place, and Supernova Lane. The construction budget, after considering soft costs such as permitting, architectural inspection, and more, is about $575,000. The public outreach included a virtual workshop, which was held in September 2024, where 18 residents attended. A second workshop was held in person and was offered in October of 2024. There was a minimal amount of participation in the in-person workshop, and to ensure that we sought as much feedback as possible, we issued a 1-week write-in period just on the sketch you see on this slide. The invite was to those who previously signed up for the first workshop or signed in on a park interest list. The sketch was then refined, and a 2-week write-in period opened in early March 2025 and closed in mid-2025. To note, the extra week that we provided, no one wrote in. As construction budgets are tight, we are approaching the master plan design differently than we have in the past. The designs identify additional amenities with the notation, "should budget allow." The project would then be bid with these options as a menu style so that we can see what the competitive bid costs are for each of these added features and how each of these would fit in with the budget or not. You will see master plans going forward with park features identified as budget allows. The proposed master plan for this site includes open grass areas, a looped walkway, a covered children's a children's play area and a picnic area, a half court for basketball and landscape areas along the perimeter with planting pockets. Development of the entire park exceeds the established budget. Therefore, to be transparent, this was shared with the residents. We identified park features that could be included as base features and other features that would be add-ons. again, should budget allow. For FD50 master plan, the grass area between the playground and half court for basketball are to be bid in that menu style approach, with walkways, the grass area to the north, the children's play and picnic areas to be bid as base park features. During the write-in period, residents were asked not only about their support for the master plan, but also if it were to be only one of the alternates that fit into the budget, which one would they choose? 7 people responded, all supporting the plan, and of the 7, 4 expressed interest in more grass to be prioritized over the basketball court. In total, 4 out of 7, there was not really an overwhelming one way or the other. As such, once the bids are received, we'll make a determination on what best fits the available budget. If approved tonight, our next steps will be to seek approval, formal approval of the City Council pending environmental clearance. And upon that approval, we will begin the construction document preparation for this park. Our target is to start construction in the spring of 2026. The action being sought, therefore, is to approve the FD50 Neighborhood Park Master Plan and forward it to the City Council for formal approval pending environmental clearance. This concludes my presentation, and I stand ready to answer any questions you may have.
Tara, at this time, I'd like to open it up to the commissioners to see if they have any questions for staff or comments. Any comments from the commission?
Just one, I'm sorry if I missed it. If the bids come in and you're not able to do the alternates right off the bat, would there be option to expand and do those later as funds might build up into the account?
Possibly.
Possibly.
So what we want to make sure is that we stick with the budget that was outlined in the finance plan when the entire plan area was approved. There's 12 neighborhood parks to be built in Sierra Vista, and we're on 6 of those parks are in some form of development at this point. So when we get to the 12th park, we will measure the fund balance, and certainly if there are funds available, we will go back to each of the parks and hopefully be able to add additional amenities.
Gotcha.
Any more questions from the commission? Hearing none, at this time, I'd like to open it up to the public to see if anybody in the public would like to comment on Park Site 50. Seeing nobody wants to address Park Site 50, I'm going to close public comment at this time and bring it back to the commission for any final questions. If there are no final questions, I'll entertain a motion to approve Park Site FD50.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. All right, next item on the agenda is 6.2. It's another park master plan for JM 52, and this is in the Sierra Vista area as well, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
So, me again. This is a 1.5 acre site, also located in Sierra Vista. The roads surrounding the park are Misty Ridge Drive, Bright Star Road, west of Upland Drive. The park is located adjacent to an open space area. The budget for this park is very tight. It is $350,000 when you consider soft costs. The public outreach included a virtual workshop also held in September, where 23 residents attended. A second workshop was held in person in November of 2024, where 15 residents attended. The sketch was refined based on that feedback received at that second workshop, and a 2-week write-in period opened early March 2025 and closed mid-March. As I mentioned earlier, construction budgets are tight, and we are approaching the master plan design differently with that menu-style approach. The proposed master plan for JM 52 includes open grass areas, a walkway connecting to a future bike trail in the open space, a covered children's play area, landscape areas along the perimeter with planting pockets. During the write-in period, a comment was made about a lack of adult features. In reviewing the meeting minutes from the first workshop, fitness stations were desired as an amenity. So given this, we added a small fitness area, should funding allow. Development of the entire park exceeds the established budget, and we did share this as well with this group of residents. And given this very tight budget, we will move into the next phase, the construction documents, with a sharp eye on the budget. Additional items may become part of the menu style bidding, depending on how cost estimates shape up during that refinement process. As such, once the bids are received, we will make a determination as well on what best fits the available budget. 7 residents did write in. Again, ironically, 4 supported the master plan as shown here, and 3 provided additional comments. And most of the comments were really the same. There was an expectation that there would be more park features included in this park master plan. Some of the suggestions were things like pickleball or, again, more adult features, which after looking at it, the adult fitness station seemed to fit, but pickleball in this small neighborhood park was not a good fit for that. So the next steps, again, is to, if you approve it tonight, is to seek formal approval from the city council, and then jump right into the construction documents. The timeline for the start of construction is similar to the previous park. We hope to start in the spring of 2026. So this concludes my presentation on JM 52, and the action before you tonight is to recommend approval for the JM 52 Neighborhood Master Plan, Neighborhood Park Master Plan, and forward it to the city council for formal approval pending environmental clearance.
Thank you, Tara. At this time, I'd like to bring it back to the commission for any comments or questions.
Yeah, you said we're slated to build 12 parks in Sierra Vista, and budget seems to be a big constraint all of a sudden. So would it pay to build 10 parks and put the money, really give everybody all the other features in the other 11 parks or 10 parks?
That's a very good question. With the approval of the master specific plan, Sierra Vista, all 12 parks were identified to provide each neighborhood within walking distance a park. If we were to build less than that, which ones would we build? Is it the last people in or the first people out? So it's quite a dilemma. It's something that we will have to look at as we move forward. We're all based on, our process and our cash flow is based on the economy, how quickly the homes are built, how quickly they are sold, and hopefully we will be able to determine if we get a little bit further with some projections where we might end up. The challenge right now is that when these finance plans were developed, they were based on $300,000 to $350,000 an acre. Current prices, the way they are right now, we're spending, not by choice, but $800,000 an acre. So the cost difference is very challenging, and we've got to look at how we can provide the parks we promised to build in Sierra Vista in some way.
Any more questions from the commission?
I got a question. I know it says budget allows for the outdoor fitness area. Can you explain what is the outdoor fitness area? Like, what does it entail?
It's some exercise equipment. So it could be static exercise equipment all clustered in one, or it could be a smaller version of, have you been to Bob Mahan Park where there's a cluster of exercise moving equipment? Given the budget, I think it would be probably more economical to put in static equipment. And you'll see an example of that if you go to Weber Park on Saturday. We have several of those stations there.
Any other questions?
The bike trail connection just kind of continues along that same arc that shows there?
Yeah, it's proposed
southeast?
to connect, but it's not there right now, so we don't know where exactly it's going to
Gotcha.
align there. But if we're there first, that means the bike trail will have to connect to that point. But it will be close to that property line or that dark black dash line.
Do you know how large Sierra Vista is compared to like West Park or Fittyman Farm or?
It's,
I don't think of it being that big for 12 parks, but, so I'm just trying to, see the,
Nick might
I know
have the
that quite
answer.
well.
yeah, okay.
1,500 acres.
Compared to, what about like a West Park or another neighborhood association, just for comparison?
West Park to the north was in the 2,000 neighborhood.
Okay.
Like I say, the original specific plan was 1,600 acres, and then there's been some additions subsequent to that, so.
Right.
Any other questions? I just have a comment. I think this concept of these pocket parks providing transition to the open space is a good idea. And as a result of that, you don't have to put a whole lot of improvements in it because you want it to try to blend in with the open space. And again, I think that's a great idea. So, one other question with regard to the Sierra Vista park fee, a neighborhood park fee. Do we? Oh boy. Anyway, that's okay. All right. I'd like to open this up to the public. Anybody? Seeing there's no questions from the public, we'd like to bring this back to the commission and let the commission have any final questions. And if not, we'll look for a forward to an approval. Any further questions? Is there an approval for the approval here?
A motion to approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. All right, very well. Next item on the agenda is 6.3, the overview of the natural resources section.
Good evening, Chair Alexander, Parks Commissioners. My name is Michael Neumann, and I'm your urban forester. And today, our natural resource specialist, Colleen Rhodes, and I will provide you an overview of the program managed by the Natural Resources section. We have two city teams that manage our natural resources, the Natural Resource Stewardship Team and the Urban Forestry Team. The Natural Resource Stewardship Team manages creek maintenance and invasive species management, vegetation management and fire breaks, trail maintenance, vernal pools monitoring, critters and wildlife conservation, and unsheltered camps. The Urban Forestry Team manages tree pruning and tree removals, tree planting and plant health care, risk assessment and management, oak mitigation, planting and maintenance, and wildlife habitat management. With that, I'm giving it over to our natural resource specialist, Colleen Rhodes, and she will talk about our programs.
Hi, my name is Colleen Rhodes. I'm the Natural Resource Specialist. I'm very excited to be here with you guys tonight and share with you all the amazing work that the Natural Resource Team does seasonally and day to day. So for creek maintenance, the city overlooks about 78 miles of creeks. When we start to get into the work of doing that, our first step is to go out to the creeks and walk along the creek bank. When we're doing that, we have an iPad out there with the help of our GIS team. We're able to, on-site, enter in data like the invasives that are growing by the creeks, any kind of down trees, debris, any beaver dams. So on-site, they're able to take a picture of it, put a little detailed blurb, if you will, about it, so then we can revisit it and determine what's a priority for us to attack for that season. Before we begin the routine maintenance, we need to submit a VRF form, so that's with the Fish and Wildlife. And some of the questions they ask on that is what creek segment are we working on, about how long we think it's going to take, what kind of equipment we're going to use, just little details like that. So we're continuously sending in VRF forms to make sure we can properly enter into those creeks. They just want to know what we're doing in there. And that happens between May and October is the time we're allowed to get in those creeks. So that is an overlook map of our creeks. You can see highlighted in blue. So that's that 78 miles I was talking about. This is a more zoomed in example of the data that we collect when we're in the field. So like I was saying, we're able to input on site these invasive species that are growing, any debris in the creeks. That's where that little pink highlighted spots are. So when we are looking through our assessments, we're able to click on those pink little shapes, highlighted areas, and it'll have the picture, it'll have details, so we can then prioritize what we want to start. So vegetation management and fire breaks, we have about 42,000 acres of open space that needs to be maintained. So in collaboration with the fire department, we prioritize fire safety by implementing fire breaks and abating the dry vegetation. This essential task is carried out through in-house efforts, contracted services, and notably our eco-friendly partners, the goats. These goats play a crucial role in reducing dry vegetation and can effectively combat the spread of invasive species when employed strategically. Our commitment to maintaining these landscapes not only enhances fire safety, but also promotes ecological health within the community. So again, these are some maps for an example. On the left, you're going to see all of our goat grazing and fire break areas. To the right is a more zoomed in version. So the green area is where our goats will be going through. And the red you see there is our 30-foot fire break behind people's homes, and that's usually contracted out. So on to bike trail maintenance. We have about 45 miles of bike trails. Weekly maintenance is done on the trails, which includes changing can liners, replenishing dog pot bags, removing debris from the trail to ensure safe usage. So while on the trails, the team monitors signage, they remove graffiti, make sure overgrown vegetation doesn't create blind spots for trail users, and ultimately just make sure that the trail can be used for everyone. We're entering our third year of the Trailibration event. We partner with recreation and marketing teams in encouraging our residents or non-residents to come visit our trails. We install signage on multiple trails around the city that have different symbols on them. The goal is to find all the symbols on the trails, and they enter and they get to win a prize. We've begun adding Trailibration signage to some of our natural trails as well. So currently, we have 3 marked natural trails. These trails encourage users to go off the paved path and explore deeper into nature. Our goal is to mark 1 new natural trail each year and install plaques that have information on what can be seen on these trails, different species, vernal pools, habitats, and more. So on to vernal pools. The city monitors over 1,500 vernal pools. They're essential and seasonal wetlands that collect rainwater in small depressions nestled between small mountains. They host a diverse variety of life. Our biological managing contractor, Volmar, comes out to our sites yearly and randomly samples different vernal pools to monitor their condition. And here's an aerial shot of our inventoried vernal pools. This is over at the Mahaney Preserve. I encourage you, if you haven't yet, to walk these natural trails and view the vernal pools this time of year. It's beautiful. So our creeks and preserves are home to a variety of wildlife. You'll see on the screen here, I include a picture of western pond turtle that you'll find in our creeks. There's an image of the crew breaking down a beaver dam, a picture of an aggressive beaver chew, an owl in a tree cavity, and a western red-tailed hawk. It is also common to see families of deer, coyote, and various bird species. In our unsheltered camps, so we partner with the Roseville Police Department in addressing the unsheltered in Roseville. RPD locates camps throughout the city, offers assistance and aid, and gives them a 48-hour notice of eviction. After 48 hours, our team arrives on site and removes the leftover debris. The bottom right corner, you can see our GIS mapping system we use to update our logs of active and private property sites. We check this map weekly and address these areas every Thursday. The debris removed is around 3,000 pounds a week, or 6,000, excuse me.
I will talk a little bit about our urban forestry program. We have about 100,000 trees in the open space and on bike trails that are not inventoried. That's an estimate. And then we have about 55,000 city trees that are in our parks, landscapes, and streetscapes that are inventoried. And over the last 18 years, the city has planted around 35,000 native trees in our natural resource areas through its oak mitigation program. We are currently planting around 2,000 native trees per year, and approximately 500 trees per year are getting replaced annually in parks and streetscapes. This aerial photo depicts our inventoried city trees, approximately 55,000 that I just mentioned. Everything is pretty much like digital based asset management. So every dot represents a tree with a tree species, the pruning history, when the tree was planted, when it was assessed. So pretty much it's like we have a full history of every single tree. We also do a lot of like volunteer planting events. The Natural Resource section has partnered with the local nonprofit like the Roseville Urban Forestry Foundation for over 25 years. And the city generally provides and prepares the planting sites, provides like planting stock and planting materials, install the temporary irrigation, and maintains the young trees for like 3 years until they're left on their own to grow. Our nonprofit, like RUF, conducts the public outreach. They facilitate the planting events and recruit the volunteer workforce. Natural resource staff is present to support the volunteer planting events, and this outstanding partnership has led to thousands of trees planted in our community and continuously enhances our urban forest. We also do the same with like volunteer mulching events. So after the pandemic, the city partnered with RUF, with like the Roseville Urban Forest Foundation, and their volunteers to spread mulch in parks and open space areas around the planted trees. In the last 2 years, like over like 2,000 cubic yards of recycled wood chips from tree trimmings were spread by volunteers, and the wood mulch provides tremendous benefits to the trees, such as nutrients, weed suppression, and soil moisture retention. In regard to tree maintenance, the city's urban forestry team and tree maintenance contractor prune approximately 7,000 trees per year in parks, streetscapes, landscapes, bike trails, open space, and our golf courses. The trees are on regular pruning cycles ranging from 5 to 10 years, depending on the amount of funding that the districts provide. Staff and contractors also perform plant health care for diseased trees. The Natural Resource section has 3 qualified tree risk assessors and certified arborists on staff, along with tree maintenance contractors who evaluate storm damaged trees and also address public safety concerns regarding city trees. Following the assessment, the assessors provide a mitigation plan, which may include monitoring, pruning, or removal of trees. Urban forestry staff also performs specialty pruning in natural resource areas. As shown here on the slide on the left-hand side in these 2 pictures, these trees that are either dead or severely declined have been transformed into wildlife habitat. Trunks, they provide shelter and beneficial habitat for our local wildlife and insect. Our skilled tree trimmers use a specialty pruning technique like coronet cuts to mimic natural branch failure and breakage and create nesting cavities much like Mother Nature would. So we are really also like trying to give trees when they're dead an afterlife so that they're beneficial for our local wildlife. This concludes our presentation, and we open it up now for questions for you.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to bring it back to the commission. Do the commissioners have any comments or questions of staff? All right, hearing none. At this time, I'd like to open this item to the public and see if there's anybody in the public that'd like to comment on this item. Hearing none, I'll now close public comment and bring it back to the commission for any final questions or comments.
Just keep up the good work.
Any further? All right, at this time, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve.
There's no motion associated with this item.
It's just thank you, just a presentation. Thank you. Thank you for that clarification. All right, at this time, the next item on the agenda is the board member commissioners. Any staff reports to make?
I have a quick staff report.
Okay.
And I just want to start off by thanking Michael and Colleen. I'm just so proud when I hear of that work that we do. I've always felt like as a park and recreation agency, one of the most important functions we have is to be good stewards of the land that we're responsible for. And the work that you guys do is outstanding. So thank you very much for that. The one slide that you saw up there that showed the vernal pool information, that's an actual interpretive sign that you would see if you went out on those natural trails. So we're not only giving people the opportunity to get out in nature, we're teaching them about it as well. So thank you again for all that you do. My few announcements that I have tonight are just a lot of stuff going on. It's getting to be our very busy time of year. And this, although this is the Parks and Recreation Commission, you know we are our Parks, Recreation, and Libraries Department. So this is National Library Week, and I thought you all should know that. If you go to the library, hug a librarian and tell them how much you appreciate them. Tomorrow is officially National Library Workers Day. So we did a little celebration for our library staff today, since tomorrow's a busy day for us around our department. Saturday, I'm sure you all know, is a big day that we've been waiting for oh, did Tara leave? So I'll just tell you, a long time, like really over a decade with the improvements to Weber Park. And so we're going to have the rededication of Weber Park at 10 a.m. on Saturday. Hopefully you will all be there. We'll have some guests as well with Invest Health, who is very involved in the renovations, Kaiser Foundation, the Sacramento Kings Foundation. And so that will be at 10 a.m. And then the Kings are having a junior basketball clinic at 2 p.m. on that day, too, because we do have a new Kings basketball court at Weber Park. So hopefully we'll see you there. Saturday night at the museum, if you are available, there is an opening reception for a very lovely exhibit that we have going on there called Momum Wene. And that's from 5 to 7 p.m. It's free at the museum on Saturday night. And I know there's a lot of Easter celebrations on Saturday, too. Sandra can tell you all about those because she's going to all of them with her kids, right?
Yep. Yes, I am.
But Saturday, this
Everyone.
weekend, is a very busy weekend. And then next week on Wednesday, we start our Wind Down Wednesday series in the square for 6 weeks. So if you've not been to Wind Down Wednesday, that's always fun. And then the second week of Wind Down Wednesday, which is April 23rd, is our Dinner on the Bridge. This will be the third annual event for that, and it's sold out, as it always is. But that will be excellent. The very end of this month, April 27th through 29th, our accreditation team is coming in town. I told you a couple months ago about accreditation. So we have 3 visitors coming from all across the United States to look at what we do, and they'll be here for a little over 2 days. And so that's the end of this month, so we'll be able to report on that to you at our next meeting. And then on Saturday, May 17th, is the Denio Family Park dedication. And Kevin, do you know anything about that one?
A little bit.
So we're excited to have the Denio family there and some representatives. That's going to be a wonderful celebration as well. That disc golf course is crazy popular at the Denio Family Park. So a lot of great things happening in our department, and it's our busy season. So,
Thank you, Jill.
yeah.
All right, any other final comments?
Just a question. Remind me how often your the accreditation comes through?
Every 5 years.
5 years. Okay.
I have one comment. So last Monday, the Denio full-time staff, we did take a trip to the park all together, and we got Better Foods Deli, and we had a picnic.
Oh.
And it was just a really nice opportunity for our staff to enjoy it and the Denio family. So you're right. Even on a Monday at 11:30, the disc golf park is very busy.
I have to add, thank you for that. There is some app, I'm not a disc golfer, but I was talking to a disc golfer last week at an event, and there's some app that rates the popularity of disc golf courses around the world. Since it's opened, Denio has been the third most popular disc golf course in the world.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Make sure you tell Jeff that one. All right.
I just want to thank your team in advance, wish you all luck, tell you to get some sleep now while you can, because I know I am, and I'm just attending all of the events with my kids. So,
right.
Good luck.
Any
Looking
more
forward
questions
to
or
all of it.
comments? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll approve, I'll motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you.